I made a note when you said that of electromagnetic poisoning. Do you think that that affects, and what I'm talking about is disorders in the nervous system. Do you think that the electric magnetic poisoning that we're receiving affects that at all?
The reality of it is that anything that we ingest, visually, auditorially, food, feelings from other people in the world, whatever it is that our body is absorbing affects it at a cellular level and at a genetic level. So there's no doubt that electromagnetic stuff that's going on, all these cell phones, all the technology, as amazing as they impact our nervous system. And so taking time away, there's been these amazing studies that have come out that say, like, hey, if you're struggling with your sleep, if you're having trouble sleeping, go camping. 3 nights camping off the grid will just completely reset your sleep cycle.
Yeah. Amongst other things.
Amongst other things. But I mean, there's some real important considerations that we need to take as we move through life. And that is, everything we expose ourselves to, we have to digest. Our body has to take it in and make sense of it. And that goes for the people we hang out with. That goes for the television shows we watch. Make no mistake about it. As fun as it is to watch some of these like gory off, beat stuff, your body then has to try to figure out how that fits in. It's really not the best thing. The research behind violent video games and aggression is real. I mean, it is real. There's just no way for a young person to be doing a lot of violent video games and not have increased anger and dysregulation in their nervous system. Because we see that coming from vets coming back from war. Why would that be? It's the same kind of aggressive exposure. So think about what we digest and what we expose ourselves to.
If you're applying a concept to one thing, it kind of goes across the board, right? You can't just pick and choose, well, and look, I'm guilty, right? We'll put on, guilty pleasure or something, some guar or whatever, there's a lot of that around here,
Yes.
And it's like, look, I know what I'm in for, right?
Yes.
but I still kind of enjoy it sometimes.
And you should. It's not to say that you just don't do these things at all. I mean, I guess there's maybe monks that don't, but like the reality of it is you just know that, like, if you're going to subject yourself to something that could be irritating and aggravating and hard for your nervous system to make sense of, come back in on the other side with some things that are really kind and warming and loving. So if, for instance, if you have to go interact with someone that you know is really hard for you to interact with, that their personality is challenging, like your body's going to have to make sense of that. Go meet with a good friend afterwards that is easy to digest. Like, there's just balancing acts that we can take, and that's really all that it is.
So I want to get really quickly back to music just briefly, because I know that there's certain, I find a lot of really depressing music happening around my house. And
you have a teenager.
And well, I know. And I'm like, my parents didn't like me playing Nirvana Rape Me at the,
No.
I'm sure they didn't like that, right?
Mine was Smashing Pumpkins. I'm not going to lie. It was also Nirvana, but the Smashing Pumpkins really set my mom off.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were okay with the New Kids on the Block. I think they were okay with that, but so there's a really popular artist. I'm not going to give her any publicity here on Aqua Brain, but it's very depressing around the house. And I even make comments like, wow, this is depressing music. Do you think that's affecting like how do you counteract that if you're constantly hearing
it affects. I mean, make no mistake, everything affects everything. So there's no way around it. And here's the thing, it resonates, right? Like, the reason that we are drawn to these things is because that feels like it fits. Smashing Pumpkins and some of the depressing stuff I listened to was very accurate for where I was. I mean,
Yeah.
life hurt. It was really painful. I was going through painful things, and we like attracts like, so we go for that. The idea though is to get balance is to have the opposite. So if I'm feeling really depressed, it's really most advised for me then to be listening to something that's more uplifting or whatever. When it comes to real life, maybe see if you can cut a deal with, like, if you're going to listen to this afterwards, let's put on this so we can share that. Because,
It's more
you
accordion
know,
music or something.
yeah, but like, and to acknowledge it for yourself and not making it so much about them, but to say, hey, I know you really dig this music and I can get why you like it. It's got good, you know, heavy bottom end. I don't know, but you can find some quality in it that you can dig. And but it really makes me feel super sad. So afterwards, after you're done with listening to this album or X amount of songs, what would you be willing to listen to that feels more upbeat?
Ah,
And finding
nice.
that middle ground and acknowledging that it's about you, not about them.
Yeah.
They'll catch on, but like to be able to say, Dad, kind of like this is hard. So like what can you pick out of your music genre that's more upbeat and uplifting?
Check out my chat with Andrea on Aquabrain TV.